Big Bro said, show him the picture of Crawford sleeping. Crawford was there. There. That's the thing, man. Everybody's trying to back this guy up, man. And he's there for a reason. If if you want to know who his manager is, just Google Jay Prince. You know, he Shakur is gonna keep getting opportunities regardless. Everyone's trying to have his back, but let's just keep it real. Look, this was Crawford. This was all of us. That wasn't just Crawford. That was all of us, man. Uh, watching that fight. But let's go to some comments real quick because people are going in now. Big Bro says he needs to lay off Twitter and listen to Steve Kim and other former pro fighters giving him good advice and constructive criticism. Hey man, if 99% of the people who watch this fight are saying it was a bad fight, it was not entertaining, and are fed up with it, I mean, you got to look in the mirror at some point. You can't just say, "Oh, these guys are hating. Oh, this guy has a big head. Oh, this guy has a shiny head. Oh man, this guy's a hater." Like, at some point, you got to look in the mirror. Boxing with Frank Bay says Shakira, another weight bully at that, looking like a middleweight by fight night, and not even a flash knockdown or even hurt a low level Artem, he says. His own hometown fans were booing and leaving. Come on. Because that's just disrespectful. And like I said, he tweeted something about, oh man, Top Rank, ESPN hates me. They were paying people to leave the arena. Like, come on, man.
Come on.
Come on, man. Your own home crowd didn't want to be there.
Dude, tell me the last time somebody offered me money to leave a fight. Come on, I'll take the money, but ain't nobody has ever offered me money to leave a fight, Gio. I think they're trying to take our money, not give it away.
Yeah, it's free money. Where do we sign up? That's
Let's go to Shakur fights. They're gonna offer us money to leave.
man, that's crazy. Big Bro says I like Shakur, but I ain't watching another fight of his unless he's facing a champion or Murataya or Camarón. And yeah, Robert Garcia says, hey man, we want the fight. He says we respect Shakur. He's a champion. Obviously, he's the A side. He can choose whoever he wants, but he's like, man, we'd love the opportunity. Murataya against Shakur. And man, look, one thing I can tell you is whoever fights Shakur, I'm pretty sure they're confident that, obviously Shakur is not going for the kill. So, Maidana went for broke against Mayweather because he knew Mayweather didn't have power. So I feel like once Shakur steps up in competition, I feel like, he's gonna have a tough time, man. Obviously, I think he's an elite boxer, good at defense. Most of his defense is him backing up. He has great understanding of distance. On this one, he fought in the pocket a little more. He did get touched up a little bit, but he's not fighting a dangerous opponent. So, and staying on that topic of fighting in the pocket, I think the difference between a Shakur and some of the top pound for pound guys is those guys are comfortable in the pocket. If you watch a Canelo down, sometimes he just walks you down, hands up, and he's comfortable in there. Bam Rodriguez against Gallo Estrada, look at how he got that knockout. He was in the pocket. He was right there within distance, dodged a couple punches, landed two hooks to the body, and that was that. Shakur doesn't seem like he's comfortable in there, and it's very interesting because I was just at the wild card last Saturday. I was visiting our boy Kid Kansas, Alan Garcia, and Coach G. They're getting ready for a fight soon, and Right Hook Roxy's getting ready for a fight soon. But that's what they were working on, fighting in the pocket, because that's what she was saying. Like, you got to be comfortable in there. Sometimes you're gonna get hit, and it's not about getting hit. It's just being comfortable enough to stay calm, to see the punches coming, to block the punches, and I don't know if Shakur is comfortable doing that. Maybe his opponents haven't forced him to show that part of his game, but as I said, it's just not entertaining boxing. And we can be honest. This is not about the sweet science. This is not about liking pure boxers or disliking pure boxers or liking a style over another. This is just not entertaining, and we got to be honest.
Yeah, and again, I think Shakur knows that. I think he, like you mentioned, he's got some intangibles that he does, better than everybody else when it comes to like foot movement, lateral movement. Again, he's one of the most defensively sound guys. He just picks his shots. Doesn't throw as many combinations as other fighters. And when you throw combinations, you're risking. He doesn't want to risk. So again, I think he knows exactly what he does well, and he doesn't want to risk. The fighting in the pocket is one of the most entertainment ways you could bring fans in. You mix it up, you take chances, you get hit. I agree that he does not want to be comfortable. He doesn't even want to be in a storm. And again, this is why I respect fighters like Floyd Mayweather, because fights like the one he had against Maidana, he was extremely uncomfortable, but yet he was able to weather a lot of those storms. And second fight, we saw what he did. He solved that puzzle. So again, for a guy like Shakur to get out of his own ego, and to gain fans and to get value, he's gonna have to fight and force himself to be uncomfortable, even when it's not to his benefit. But again, if you want to continue taking that blueprint, we are guests. You will continue winning. You will continue to put people to sleep. You will continue to get criticized, and you're just gonna have to take it.
Going back to that offer, Chris, 15 million, 5 fights. It sounds very low, especially because I compared it to that AB deal that he had on the table, 40 million. I think it was what, 5 fights or whatever it was. Yeah, go ahead.
5 year,
Something like that. 5 fights or 5 years.
40 million, 5 years. Let's say you fight twice a year. So what, 40 million for 10 fights? But yeah. I mean, yeah.
Hey,
Again,
it's still
those are
more. It's still more than this one. No, what is this? 15 million, 5 fights. But is that valuation fair? I know it sounds low, but is it
yeah.
fair? You mentioned some of Shakur's previous purses, and considering he's not a guy who sells, a lot of people were saying that this arena wasn't even half full. I saw, I think Clarissa Shields posted a video inside the arena showing a lot of fans and stuff, but I don't even think they opened that top part of that arena. It might have been 5, 6 thousand people in there. So, Shakur's not a guy who sells. He's never sold a pay per view in his life. Is that valuation fair, or was Top Rank being cheap? Was Shakur right to walk away from that deal?
I think it's fair for everything that we just mentioned about his value. I think it's fair. Obviously, Top Rank is gonna feel like they can make more off of that, so they probably do value him more, and that's what a promoter, a business should do. At the same time, we just said it. Each performance that you had before, it's either going to put you seats for the next fight or it's going to take away, and it's exactly what it's doing. I think it's taking away seats just because he's not fan friendly. So I think Top Rank is gambling a little bit. I think they overvaluated him. I'm sure he thinks he's valued way more. That's why he turned it down. But I think it's fair, and I think he made a mistake not taking this value. I don't know who else is going to offer more. There's going to be offers, but it's going to. I don't see it being much higher than this. So yeah, again, I think he made a mistake. He should have taken it. Get those fights out of the way quick, and build build some star power by taking chances. But again, I just yeah, he's not worth that pretty much.
Well, he did say he was going to be better off without Top Rank, and to me, hopefully this motivates him to step up. The only way he's gonna make more money is if he fights some of the top guys. So hopefully he wants to prove Top Rank wrong, and hopefully that means he steps in there with some of those big names that we wanna see him fight against. I think Cameron Cepeda would be a good start. As I said, I'm not sure Cameron wins that fight, but Cameron's gonna come to fight. He's not gonna let Shakur just run around the ring. He's gonna apply that pressure. Even Valdez was able to land, some big punches on Shakur, but that's what we need to see as boxing fans. I always kind of make that analogy with basketball. If you're the best team in the league and you start off the season 5-0, but you played against the Spurs, the Pistons, the Rockets, the worst teams, that doesn't really tell us anything. If you're beating the 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 teams that you're supposed to be beating, if you're blowing them out, I don't think that's a good gauge of how good your team is. Once you step up in competition and you're beating the top dogs, you're winning the playoffs, whatever the case is, and you're still winning, now I think people can say, okay, that team is really good. I don't think we've seen that from Shakur yet, besides the Oscar Valdez fight. All those other fights, he was supposed to win. He was supposed to shine. Just like in this fight, it was a fight for him to shine. He had a stoppage. Couldn't do it. People leaving the arena. Terrible look. And who was this boxing? Let me see. Boxing with Frank Bay just going in. He's saying P for P means you can fight off the back foot or press forward. New school B words like Shakira needs someone to make the fight. I agree with that. Like all the guys you see on the top pound for pound list, they can kind of do it all. They're not one dimensional. So crazy to say, because as we said, Shakur, we believe, is one of the most skillful fighters in the world, but for one reason or another, we don't see that in the fights. Where we want to see it, where it matters the most. Couple other comments that I did want to mention. Even Blair Cobbs got in the action, Chris. Even Blair, the Flair friend of the show, had a good victory against AB recently. He called them Shaboring Sleeperson. And then someone in the comments wrote, the last two fights put everyone to sleep except his opponents.